Greetings. My name is Lance Bell. As you know, there has been protests regarding the Dakota Access Pipeline. Now, this has been going on for a while now, and there will be no end in sight, and I will explain in a few moments. Now, as of this taping, full-scale construction has not happened, even if reports state that there has been. This should have never gotten this far at all, and we all know that. After the court decision last Friday to block the injunction, I would like to know why in the world did it take the Obama administration so long to do something? I will tell you, public heat and a lot of it. As an example, in this report from Reuters, this protest from Washington shows the commitment that they have.
Protesters against the construction of an oil pipeline from North Dakota to the U.S. Gulf Coast took their message to the White House as part of a national day of action. Protests like the one in Washington were held across some 30 U.S. states. Activists like Jaslyn Charger say the so-called Dakota Pipeline would prove deadly to Native Americans.
This pipeline, it's poison. It is poison. It's going to kill us.
The Standing Rock Sioux tribe has ancient burial and prayer sites near where the pipeline would be constructed. The Obama administration recently decided to block construction on federal land after a U.S. District Court judge rejected a request from Native Americans for a court order to block the project. Former U.S. Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders calls for an even tougher response.
Further administration action is needed. That is why I am calling on President Obama today to ensure that this pipeline gets a full environmental and cultural impact analysis.
Energy Transfer Partners, the company behind the pipeline, says it is committed to completing the construction of the pipeline and its safe operation, though that pledge is likely to be met with further protests.
Now, I object to any politician in this instance, but I do commend Mr. Sanders for saying something, even if I think, in my opinion, is the wrong way to go about this. Now, that being said, there has been protests all over the country. Apparently, there was one even in Cleveland this week, and even I missed that one, and I live in the area. Now, in this protest in Los Angeles, are regular people off the street to join the cause also? Let's take a look.
In solidarity with the Standing Rock Sioux tribe! In solidarity with the earth! In solidarity with the water! In solidarity with the land! Water is life! Water is life! Water is life! Water is life! Water is life!
Well, if the pipeline breaks in the water, it's going to leak, and there's no way to fix that contamination for all the people. It's not just the natives, it's everybody that lives downstream from this pipeline. And it's a major river source, water source for all the people. So it's huge. How are we going to live without water? We're 70% water. It's so simple. How do we not know this? And it's happening all over the world. All these rivers are getting contaminated, and, you know, nothing's stopping it.
Well, today, September 13th, it's a day to stand up together in solidarity with not only Standing Rock, but also our earth, and against this pipeline. It's not over yet. A lot of people think that it's over. It's just a halt to what's going on, which is good, but we need to keep this momentum going.
Everyone's going to say there's thousands of pipelines all over the country, but the more you put in the ground, the more risk you have that it's going to leak into the water. It's not if, it's when, and people don't realize that.
Without oil, water is life. Water is life. It's not over yet. It's not
Now, Los Angeles is in the same boat in respects of the Standing Rock Sioux. But before I explain why that is the case, I want to remind people that the state of South Dakota, must be on quasi-lockdown right now. I know that this video is a week old, but back on the 9th of this month, there was protest at their state capitol. Now, I had to cut the footage down for time restraints, but YouTuber Rocky Hall has been documenting the events there, and in this video gives an inside look on what happened there.
Okay, this is Rocky Hall. I'm in Bismarck at the state capitol. We're at the protest site, and cops in riot gear. Really? Seriously? And it looks like they brought them in on a bus. But yeah, they're all riot gear. Not a very good skirmish line we got here because nobody's watching their backs. They've all got their faces towards the crowd and nobody's watching their backs. Full riot gear, seriously? For this crowd right here, guys. Got all these officers in riot gear. Kids, cops in riot gear. Right on, girl. The court hearing was today. We're in Bismarck, North Dakota. We're at the state capitol, and it does look like we lost the court case, but it's not over. The fight is not over. We're not done. We are not done.
That's cool. I know, right?
Work with the different agencies and inform them of what it is that indigenous rights mean. So we still have work to do. And I ask that we still remain calm, we still remain peaceful, we still remain with prayer. Our message is heard, and it's going to go a long way. And we're making a better future for the kids who are not here yet. That's all I have to share. Thank you.
Water is life! Water is life! Water is life! Water is life!
I kind of wonder why we have the riot gear here, you know, why we have so many cops. I mean, what are we going to do? Seriously, this has been a totally 100% peaceful protest since the very beginning. So I don't know what their deal is. And strategically, these guys are, I don't know, I hope they're getting paid well. I believe that we will win.
Everybody come over here.
My name is Joanne Spotted Bear, and I am from Wounded Knee. I want to see these police right here. We're at a federal court hearing. We are federal Indians, and the state of North Dakota has a charter number. They have no treaty, and the United States went bankrupt in 1933. That means that the United States does not have a federal writ.
Yeah.
There is no federal tribe to give the United States a federal writ. And when they went bankrupt in 1933, 12 years before the original United Nations went up in Geneva, Switzerland, they gave all the documents over. So technically, I want to know why we're standing here and not inside, because that is a public building and we are on federal lands in a federal area. So what is the reason why we're standing here? Does anybody know why?
It's our land.
Other than going to jail, what's the real reason? And why are they trying to, what's the charge going to be? Standing up for water?
Trespassing on our own land?
Could be. but it's our land, so what's another charge? So I wanna address on Facebook, Ambassador Shahi Amin Kahan, Ambassador Malik, and all the world ambassadors who know Joanne Spotted Bear. There's over 9,000 of you.
Oh.
There is well over 200 tribes at the Standing Rock area. These police officers right here are not federal employees. They are state cops. And we cannot go into the federal courthouse, and therefore I can't tell you if it's a federal courthouse or a state courthouse that is withholding evidence right now. This is illegal. In a public building, whether it's state or federal, we have a right to go in and to see what kind of decisions they're making for the great Teton Nation. The Fort Laramie Treaty 1851 bypassed the Congress and went into the Chronicle list of international treaties where one judge cannot make decisions for the Lakota, Nakota, Dakota, known as the Great Teton Nation, without addressing the whole entire world. So what I want to know is, why are those cops there? And why are we here standing here?
Let's go to jail.
No, we're not going to go to jail. There's a better way. They said no going to jail, so we're not going to go to jail. Okay, I'm sorry. The elders said, and we have to respect them, and I respect the grandmothers. So what we're going to do is we need to file charges on the judge who made sure that we cannot hear what's in the public building, because that is treason of treaties. That is a federal offense, and that is a death sentence. Treason. So we need to come together like that. And everybody needs to get their treaties. Another one. Treaties are supreme law of the land, and they're for sale at the Library of Congress in Washington. I told on you.
What'd you say, 30 bucks?
They're anywhere from $100 to $300.
Oh, $100 to $300 we can buy a treaty.
You can buy the video in that building and the voice recording and the video and the dockets. Those are anywhere from $30 to $500 depending on how long the court case is. So we need to find that out so we can go back and it's called a rebuttal. Okay? So we're going to respect the elders. And we are not going to go to jail.
No jail.
And we are going to find out what we need to get done, because this is not okay. This is not okay for me to sit here and watch our people wondering what's going on. So I'm going to go over here and ask them if they understand treaties. And if I go to jail, just
bail you out.
No, you get a hold of the world ambassadors and the world leaders and tell them that a Native American Indian from Wounded Knee just went to jail, and I do have a dignitary card in my car. I give you permission to go in my pants and pull out my wallet. It has my UN identity card in there. So let that see where that takes them. So I'll be right back.
Oh, hey guys.
Okay. My name is Joanne Spotted Bear, and you are? Luke. What? Henderson?
Dan Hogan. God bless you guys.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
I'm gonna speak in my language first, okay? And that way we can have a good relationship. Tokaya Tinkashila Wopila Waku, Levia Chomatomi and Hemia, my dear relatives, we always thank the Creator first, you know. We thank Him for everything. My Indian Lakota name is Bear Woman. My English name is Joanne Spotted Bear. And I'm originally from Wounded Knee. You know that Cowboys and Indians thing? Okay, we're not here to play Cowboys and Indians. We're here to, that's a public building,
Come on,
right?
dude.
Okay, and this is the public? Okay, I just said that. So here we go. We didn't come here to create animosity. We came here to find out what was said in the building without stirring up any trouble. And all of the relatives, they know that. They've been told before leaving the camp. And we have no problem with none of your co-workers, because what they're saying is water is life. And as far as you know, and the women that talk to you, 85% of our bodies are water, right? And if the water is contaminated, what happens? Are you guys going to drink it? I'm not. I mean, honestly, I won't drink it. I'll buy water. But eventually the bottled water will run out too, right? Okay. So that's a good point right there. But the next point is, did you guys realize that the 1851 Fort Laramie Treaty bypassed Congress and made it to the Chronicle list of international treaties worldwide? Are you aware of that? Okay, now, you just witnessed on cameras that you did not know about the Chronicle list of international treaties. Come on. Come on. Just let us.
Don't cross the line. Let her talk.
Yeah.
Respect the situation.
Okay. So, did you also realize that the Great Lakota Nation is accepted by the United Nations in New York and Geneva, Switzerland? No? Okay, I am a dignitary at the United Nations level. I'm also respected by our people and our grandmothers to speak to any one of the state, local, state, and federal governments. Come on, you guys, let's be respectful, please. And in the U.S. Constitution, did you guys take an oath? You did? In that oath, what did it say, if I may ask?
Support and defend the Constitution.
Right. I took an oath too. I became a law advocate, and at the United Nations, we had to take an oath to solemnly swear to protect the Constitution, right? Okay, so all of us are on that level. That's good. In the United States Constitution, Article 6, Clause 2, what does it say? You don't know? It says, Article 6, Clause 2 says that treaties are supreme law of the land. It's the supremacy clause. Do you have an understanding what the supremacy clause means? Any clue? Okay. The supremacy clause to the law of the land is that you will respect indigenous peoples. The original people. Well, you know, Indians are always radical in some kind of way and have to break a line, our law. But yet our laws and our lands were broken, and today our water rights are at stake. And it's not just ours. It's yours too.
It's your water.
It's all of our water.
Our water.
And all we want to know is the decision, because technically one judge cannot make a ruling on the Fort Laramie Treaty 1851 because he's talking about a chronicle list of international treaties worldwide. And then what I'm going to do, if I find out that that one judge made one decision on the chronicle list of international treaties, I'm going to see to it that on federal court, I'm going to have all the UN ambassadors come in, and then I'm going to pull the charter to the state of North Dakota. And then I'm going to pull your guys' charter too, okay? Because it's only fair. You respect us, and we respect you. And in respecting, that is a public building where we should be able to hear, and there should be no animosity.
Are we not allowed in the building?
No, nobody.
Nobody's allowed.
No members of the protest. This is the protest area.
We're protectors. We're not protesters.
Okay. This is the protest area that's been assigned. If you're part of the protest, this is where you're allowed to be today.
But we're not protesters.
We're not
Or I'm not a protester. Can I go in there?
You're part of the group here today.
No, I'm not.
You're
You've given me an identity.
That's not our protest. That's any protest that, because it's already permitted. They have permits.
Okay, here's the thing, folks. We've already told you what the boundaries are.
And they're
There's
doing
no
their
access
job
into the building.
also.
Okay,
We're just trying to gain an understanding as to why a lot of us just pulled up. We don't necessarily know what is going on. You know what I mean? We just see a line.
I'll tell you what, guys. Our job today here is just to make sure everything goes as smoothly as it possibly can go.
That's our job too.
That's our job here today. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're not going to sit here and have a debate about.
The elders asked for no jail.
Who's the judge that
No one goes to jail.
The judge that ruled isn't even in North Dakota.
Why are you guys armed?
And to my understanding, that happened out in Washington.
Okay.
Okay, that's my understanding. Nothing happened here in this building today.
Okay.
All right.
So that makes that clear.
Okay.
So there would really be no reason to go in here because there's really nobody in there that you could visit with, you could talk with, anything like that.
Okay. So technically, in reality, our problems are not here.
No,
Our
they're in
problems in Washington.
They've always been in Washington.
But
Okay.
this can still be addressed because this isn't legal also.
This is
is
state.
not okay.
Yeah, this is
It's a public building.
right, but there's no courts or nothing in there.
Yes.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
There's no
They
courts.
said that they applied for a permit to protest here. So during the hours of the permit that was allotted, there's nobody going into the building. After that, before 3 o'clock, we probably could have went in. After 6 o'clock, we could probably go in.
So
There's nobody going in,
okay,
right?
well, how about the city meeting? Where's the city meeting at?
Or just not Indian people.
No, there's no. If you have normal business within the facility,
Yeah.
you can certainly go in there. The Capitol's open. I mean, so if you have any.
So if I just want to go look from the top, can I go?
If you go in and if you want to go up, but yeah,
You can try.
I said anybody that's involved with the protest here, this is the area that's been given to do that, in a lawful, peaceful manner, and that's what we're hoping takes place.
Well,
So again, if you have
I'm a
some-
lawful, peaceful person. Can I go in there?
To handle your business, you can.
I'm a business person.
Freedom
I
of
can walk
speech
around.
As long as you're breaking fire into the state capitol where people pay taxes to pay
Well,
for the
our people,
activities that,
you know,
well, I pay taxes.
First Amendment rights totally being
Again, if
stopped
you have
right
some
here.
business in there,
There's a
it's open
paperwork
for
process
business.
to it.
Paperwork process.
So you guys need to go back.
So I got a question. Let's say I want to know whose names are on the Dakota Access Pipeline and who signed the paper. Can I find out in there?
For what, no?
For the Dakota Access Pipeline, can I find out whose names are on the document?
I don't know if that document's here.
well,
you can go in and ask.
Yeah, can I?
Yes.
Okay.
But
Then
you-
I'll.
you cannot go that way.
You got to take the side.
You have to
Oh, I
go.
can take the
yes.
sidewalk,
Right?
but I can't walk on the sidewalk because I got.
You can't take a large group in there.
Nobody's saying
Okay.
you can't. Nobody's saying you cannot go into the Capitol. If you have official business going to the Capitol, nobody's saying you can't go in.
So she can go in.
Just a couple of people, probably.
I don't think you'll find any of that. You won't find any of that.
You asked the group. And if they say
no
yes,
federal
then
court,
you
there's
can't.
no federal courthouse here.
Ask them.
The federal courthouse is downtown where any of the documents if you want to
Group.
see them, probably down
Hold
there.
Group,
on.
I have a question for the group. I'm with Camp of the Sacred Stone. I'm live streaming now. Do I have your permission to go with Joanne into the Capitol to live stream this to thousands?
I just want to see
the protest to the capitol.
No, he just there's three.
Single person,
Her
one person.
and then one more. That's it. No more.
The dancers are coming. We're forming a human chain. Circle, circle, circle of life here. All the way around. This is a 100-man chain of people going on here. This is incredible. Oh, the guys with the riot gear should break this up. This is terrible. Look at these people. They got smiles on their faces. A lady just gave me a food. She baked 300 of these. And it was a godsend because we have not ate today. We got up first thing, just busy. Look at this chain. Look at this chain. I gotta walk this chain. This is incredible. Oh, she's pregnant as hell. She's gonna drop that baby right here. Dapple baby. This is awesome. Look at this chain of people. And then they're circling back and shaking hands. And it goes all the way around the park. Hundreds of people. Whew, that girl pregnant. She gonna drop any minute. And circling back, circling back. This is beautiful. This is what it's about, people. Oops, not supposed to film that. Shit. Oh. I am broken. I am broken. This is incredible. Hundreds of people holding hands, going in circles, shaking hands, kissing babies.
Now, there is plenty of video to find on the subject, and I suggest you educate yourself on this issue. This comes back to what I said, that there is kind of a parallel with Los Angeles, and that is one thing: water. We all know that LA has huge issues in regards to that. They can't get enough to serve the 8 million people that live there. However, for the Standing Rock, this could be an issue of life or death. They basically want nothing to do with this pipeline, and I agree with that. It was too much risk with it and must be moved. Bottom line. No question about it. Furthermore, I have to ask, why was this pipeline route thought out properly, or was it thought out properly? This is a question that I have been asking myself. Without even looking, I know that the Missouri River has to be the main source of drinkable water in that area for many people, and from what I read, there is a real deep concern up and down the pipeline route. Please understand, with all the people from all walks of life come to the defense of the Standing Rock, this could be the battle this country has not seen in a very, very long time. Not from an actual killing war standpoint, from the point of tribal nations across the continent. You may find that silly for me to say, but hear me out on this. From what I've read and seen, there's over 300 different tribes there now, and I will guarantee you, if this drags out more will show, and that is not including everyone else that stands behind them. I will finish up this show with this. They do not want it. They do not want it. And I do not know what is going to happen next. Now, I hope that Energy Transfer Partners come to their senses on this and drop it. With that being said, I know that the dogs were called out, literally called already, and I hope that it will be it. In closing, this is for you, government, at any level. Don't you dare do anything stupid on this, because if you do, you set this country back 150 years, and that is a promise.